Greetings Portal Masters, my name is Jack and welcome back to another video. Surprisingly, the second time I upload within the same month. Crazy, I know. But I've just been super busy with college. There's been a lot of things happening with that right now. We've got a whole show going on in that because performing arts. Things have settled down with it a little bit. So I should actually be able to upload. In fact, I wanted to upload a couple of days ago, but then I ended up getting sick, so I had to stop for the weekend, which is why this video is a few days later than it should be, because my voice was just absolutely dreadful. But you know, with a bit of luck, I'll be able to get like a third upload this month, maybe. Although that could be the case for next month, I don't know. My upload schedule is garbage. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So, the Skylanders included within the starter pack are a really difficult choice to make. You only get to pick 3 out of a huge cast of Skylanders, for example the first game having 32. And I'd like to say that the choice doesn't get any easier as the games progress, because then you've got Series 2s and 3s to put in there, like with Giant Starter Pack and the Swap Force Starter Pack. So as cool as the 3 Skylanders are, so like I said, going back to Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, we had Spyro, we had Gilgren, and we had TooWiiMii. As cool as those 3 Skylanders were, you're going to want, or in other cases need, more, because you're going to want to have extra lives, you're going to want to complete accolades, complete collection, get an elemental power bonus, and of course, you're going to want to unlock the elemental gates. Now, in today's world, if you wanted a new Skylander, you can go on to sites like Amazon, although I don't really recommend Amazon, or you could go on eBay and find the Skylander or Skylanders that you're looking for, and depending on how you want your Skylander, you can expect to pay a wide range of prices. If you're after one of the common figures, or just like loose figures, if you don't really care about that, you don't really have to pay that much often, only like £2 or £3. Some of the starter pack ones go for like £1. Most expensive out of box Skylander I've seen is like 15 quid, and I think that was for Nightmare or Nightlight. You can have some of the rarer Skylanders or some of the more common Skylanders but in the box and pay, like I said, about 15 quid or so. My Red Drill Sergeant is currently the most expensive Skylander I bought, being about £32, which is a chase variant, new in the box, so I'd say I've got my money's worth there. Or you can end up paying an absolute mountain of gold for other rare figures and chase variants that are in the box. Your other option is to find a second-hand shop. Here in the UK, our second-hand store is called CEX. I will not be giving the actual pronunciation because I'm not getting demonetized, and you know, I can't say it with a I don't know. I can say it with a straight face, but still, I'd just rather not. But anyways, CEX. These Skylanders are out of box 99% of the time, although I did see a in-box Chaos figure in there once, which is pretty cool. But they're also an absolute steal, like they're just an absolute bargain. Except for the undead trap that they had there that was like £10. I think that's a bit much if you ask me. But other than that, you're getting an absolute steal for these Skylanders. Just expect damage, scuff, like other things. Like, I've seen hot dogs without the tail, I've seen just weird coloured marks on Skylanders. So just be aware of that. The other con with places like CEX is you have no way to know or control what Skylanders you find there. Right? Whatever Skylanders are available there is all based on the people, which I guess it's similar to eBay, going on a customer-based market, because obviously CEX buys stuff from you, so the Skylanders that you'll find there will be the ones that other people have sold. which in a lot of cases does lead to very high amounts of duplicates of the same Skylanders. Like, for example, your common Skylanders, Gilgrunt, Food Fight, T-Rex. Those are some of the most common Skylanders of CEX. They're everywhere. But you can still get some pretty good Skylanders there too. Like, I've found so many different varying figures, and hey, I've even found glow-in-the-dark Cinder and Nitro Magnacharge there. So, very, very cool. And as much as I've just bashed those two websites, well, one of them's a shop. I mean, CEX does have a website, but you know what I mean. As much as I've just bashed them, they're both fairly reliable methods, and I guess pretty much your only methods. But what I miss is when Skylanders were sold in retail stores with the original packaging, the aisles, the displays, and everything. Now, when the phenomenon known as Skylanders took the world by storm, they were sold everywhere, and it made for some real enchanting experiences back then. Right, if you never got to experience retail Skylanders, then you're missing out. Now, I'm gonna come out here right off the bat and just say that while I did experience this, it wasn't much, and also because I was so young, I never knew much about it. Like, I didn't know anything about the market, I just knew that they had Skylanders on the shelves, right? 8-year-old me never even knew what a wave was. Like I said, I just saw aisles filled with Skylanders, and there you go, that was my day absolutely made. For those of you who don't know what waves are essentially just Activision releasing the Skylanders steadily throughout the course of the game's release. Unless your name is Wallop, Crypt King, or Echo, in which case you're out of luck there. Anyways, finding a store that sold Skylanders back then was not hard in the slightest. They were sold almost everywhere, and it was magical getting to see what each store did. Right? Because of waves, you'd typically be able to find the same Skylanders in each location, but some Skylanders from earlier waves would have sold less than others, which meant that some stores would have most of the game's cast available to purchase. Like, for example, let's say you have, what are two British stores? Let's go for Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Right, let's say that Sainsbury's sells more of waves 3, 4, and 5, while Tesco's sells more of 1 and 2, which means if you want the earlier waves, then you're going to have more luck over at Sainsbury's, but if you want the later waves, then Tesco's going to be your best bet in that case. Even though I have not seen a Skylander in either of those two stores since 2015, when at one point I just saw a High Five figure chilling in one of the shelves. It was in box, of course, but I had like no experience with traction back then, so I kind of just admired it, showed it to my mum, and then left it. Now I've even seen through YouTube videos that even during the release of Imaginators like Wave 1 and 2, there were still figures as early back as Spyro's Adventure that were still on the store shelves. Now, speaking of certain stores, some shops were picked to hold exclusive figures. Walmart and Target over in the US are two good examples, as they used to be the only way to get Drill Sergeant and Whirlwind respective to those retails. However, I feel like the most well-known store for exclusives was Toys R Us. When it was still in business, it's where you got legendary figures. And I went to Toys R Us a good amount of times as a child. Not all that many, mind you, but a couple of times. And I can't tell you where they were, because I missed them every time. I have no recollection of seeing a Skylander in Toys R Us. I think Toys R Us also held events we'd be able to get things like Metallic, Shroom Boom, or Gilgrunt, but I could be wrong there. Another thing that I'd like to point out is that I was never lucky enough to see the store displays. Like, I've seen pictures and videos for it. I think one was like Target? I'm not too sure, but it'd have like whole corners, aisles, walls of a store, and it'd have really bright colours, cutouts of the characters, the logo for the current game, like a whole wall of figures with like a demo portal and a screen in the middle, which it makes me wish that I could have seen that growing up. In fact, to be honest, I kinda did, but I'll get to that later. Right? Although, seeing any amount of Skylanders was brilliant, since I remember seeing Series 2 Flameslinger, and I decided I needed him. Right? The same goes for Lightcore Prison Break. Right? Those two walks home, I was so happy. I had the box in my hands. I would not stop droning onto my mum about, oh, look at this guy's so cool. He like Lightcore, I think he's supposed to light up on the ball, whoa. And then you've got my mum going like, wow, that's very cool. And I just remember just getting home, first thing I did, tear it out of the box, slap it on the portal, and booyah. It's those things that give Skylanders the magic that it had. And events were also a massive part of marketing Skylanders, often giving out chase variants such as Pearl Hex. Considering I didn't even begin to use YouTube until I don't even remember when, I never really knew about any of these events. But luckily, thanks to my mum being absolutely amazing, I was able to go to an event that I've always remembered and is one of my best Skylanders memories. The date was October something 2012, and Giants was either just about to release or had literally just come out within the past day or two. During this time, me, my mum, and a little bit of other family were out in London. Actually, no, it might have just been me and my mum. But we were visiting London and we came across this toy shop called Hamleys, which is, if I'm correct, the biggest toy store in London. And I think maybe even the UK, but I could be wrong there. Now, to celebrate the release of Giants, they'd taken the basement floor of the shop and they turned it into this huge green area, obviously supposed to be like Skylands grass, and they just made the place look like Skylands. Any of the shelves and whatnot, they had like vines, kind of like how you've got the vines coming out of the floating islands in the game. They made it look really cool, and they had one of those demo things that was on about in the stores. They had like just slightly bigger. Oh, sorry about that. They had a slightly bigger version of that. They had like a little demo. They had an actual copy of the game though. They had that set up, and they even had like a guy in an eruptor suit. Like, it was massive eruptor suit, but they had him walking around. This made 8-year-old me lose my marbles completely. Like, you'd get to like give Eruptor a hug, you could take pictures with him, and he'd take you. Okay, bad wording, no. But he'd bring you to the demo, so then the actual staff member that was manning the thing, he'd be able to tell you about Giants, how cool it was, let you play a bit. And they showcased a few of the Series 2 figures for Stump Smash, Whirlwind, and Drill Sergeant. And in case you didn't know, I chose Drill Sergeant. That's how I got him, and that's what makes him one of my favourite Skylanders to date, because it has one of my greatest memories behind it. And to talk about some memories featuring Skylanders in retail, I'd like to let somebody speak about their experiences.
Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new collaboration, to which this time Sky Phoenix Jack has asked me about recollections of Skylanders at retail, and I tell you what, I remember this fondly given that I've been playing ever since Skylanders Spice Adventure, to which I got the starter pack at Christmas of 2011. This was problematic because a bunch of people hoarded Skylanders around this Christmas season in anticipation for it becoming like the most popular toy of that year. So naturally, because of that, Activision significantly underestimated the success of Skylanders and didn't really generate much of a supply, but the demand far outweighed said supply, so the hoarders who had already picked up a bunch of characters were reselling them on eBay for really seriously hiked up prices even. It's hard to speak about a script, but that being said, it wasn't until several months later that Skylanders started becoming common again. So I just remember after Christmas looking around and finding nothing but boomers, because he was the most popular Skylander from Spice Adventure. He wouldn't fly off the store shelves like everyone else because he simply just wasn't nearly as popular as the others. So besides Boomer, I would never find any Skylanders because of their natural rarity when the games first came out and around that Christmas period. So instead I was stuck with Boomer. And so, 3 months later, the stores would finally get restocks in that would allow them to create displays of dozens upon dozens of characters. And I tell you what, said displays were absolutely glorious. Going into Tesco and seeing just lines of triple pack, lines of single packs, man. There truly isn't a site like it. To be able to go into a site or a store and not see like just single pre-owned Skylanders completely out of the box, just gathering dust and shelves. I mean, this is a bad example because you wouldn't normally find them swapped, but still, CX, sure they sell pre-owned Skylanders, but it's got a completely different experience going into a store and seeing like 20 swarms still in the box. Because speaking of which, Giants, around the holiday season again, Skylanders started becoming more rarer to find, except for the least most popular ones where they would just like seriously hold up entire store sections. Characters like Swarm as well from Giants, swap for some of the cores like Countdown, Rollerball, and Sabretooth weren't particularly popular. So again, they were shelf warmers. You could find them in abundance literally anywhere you went. But still, I just love the appeal and the idea of going into a store and seeing lines of dozens upon dozens of Skylanders, some of them the same characters or brand new in packaging, looking crisp and magnificent. And you'd have that one rare case where you look through the sections and you'd see a crystal variant or a mist package, like a sprocket in a Sonic Boom case, for example. Those mist packages of which were the rarest of all of them. So yeah, that's my input into Skylanders retail. Something I, again, remember fondly, given that I've been playing since Spice Adventure. I've been playing since Christmas of 2011, which was notorious for Skylanders, given their rarity and the hyped up prices on eBay because of the demand being so high for them and the supply being so low. And now, before I continue to repeat myself further, it's time to move on to the next SkyTuber without further ado.
And that was Ignite the Fire. Thanks for coming onto the channel today, mate. Alright, now, since retailers had so many Skylanders to sell, I mean, given how many different unique figures there are out there, there's like 601, I think? Don't quote me on that. But obviously, there's so many Skylanders out there. So, it only makes sense that stores would do something to sell more than one, or to sell several, or just whatever outside of events things can occur. This is where memberships come in. Now, I've actually never heard of any Skylanders memberships, but there's supposedly memberships out there that can grant discounts or even a free Skylander after every purchase or a set amount of purchases. Now, since I don't know much, I'm gonna bring in somebody who does.
What's going on, guys? My name is TooWiiMii, and it's a pleasure to be on Jack's channel talking about Skylanders in the store. So yeah, my experience was a fun one. I remember going like day one to even get some Skylanders when they came out. But my favorite story is from Swap Force, pre-ordering it. I believe it was at Target. You pre-ordered it, and you would get this card, and the cards actually have a RFID chip inside them, and you could put this on the portal and you would get a hat, I think, or something. But I just thought it was really nice that they did that. Another cool thing about being in the store was the Skylanders Adventure Club, this was exclusive with GameStop. So GameStop had this whole like club, and they didn't do a club for any other game series or anything like that, just Skylanders. Like, Skylanders got the special treatment. But the idea of the Adventure Club was you would get special offers and things like that. My favorite was Skylanders Day. So Skylanders Day, they would have tons of deals. You could get free Skylanders if you bought stuff. I love Skylanders Day. You even had the Adventure Club. You could get like every 6 Skylanders you bought, you got like a free one or something. They had all these cool deals. Love the Adventure Club. Not a lot of people talk about it though. But anyway, that's my experience buying Skylanders in the store. Like, just all the cool stuff that came from it. I don't think any other franchise has done anything like it, especially not Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, or whatever the heck else is on there. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on your channel, Jack, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
There you go. That was TooWiiMii. TooWiiMii, thank you for coming on to the channel today. And because of TooWiiMii and also Igknight the Fire coming on to the channel today, this makes today's video the first collab on my channel. I mean, I've ended up submitting things to other people's channels for collaboration over on their channels in the past, but this is the first time that I actually have someone else coming to visit me on my channel. And the fact that I'm able to just make moves like that now, I'm absolutely stoked about it. However, I hope that the three of us today were able to shed a bit of light on the magic that was Skylanders in retail. Now, that's going to do it for this video. If you did like it, because I enjoyed making it, even though it was delayed as hell because college and being ill, but I've still got the video out. And if you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it, then please consider liking or even subscribing to the channel. It would help me out a ton. And because I'm trying to fix my upload schedule, be sure to ring that bell so then you're notified every time I upload. Even if that time is like next year or whatever. Like I said, I'm trying to fix my upload schedule. But should my upload schedule be fixed, you'll be notified often about when I upload. But until next time, see you then, Portal Masters.